Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to Madam Chazwani and my fellow friend. Today my group will present about environmental issue, which is ozone depletion. Before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself and my group member. My name is Muhammad Imran Halimi bin Muhammad Arif, and my group member is Muhammad Amirul Hazib bin Rosli and Muhammad Fidaus bin Mansur. So we go to the introduction. The definition of ozone depletion. Ozone depletion, gradual thinning of Earth's ozone layer in the upper atmosphere caused by the release of chemical compounds containing gases chlorine or bromine from industry and other human activities. Ozone depletion occurs when chlorofluorocarbon (CFC) and halon gas formerly found in the aerosol spray cans and refrigerators released into the atmosphere. Ozone depletion is a major environmental problem because it increases the amount of ultraviolet UV radiation that reach Earth's surface, which increases the rate of skin cancer, eye cataract, and genetic and also immune system damage. Over the past 13 years, humans have made progress in stopping damage to the ozone layer by curbing the use of certain chemicals. But more remains to be done to protect and restore the atmospheric shield that sits in the stratosphere about 9 to 18 miles above the Earth's surface. One example of ozone depletion is the annual ozone hole over Antarctica exit that has occurred during the Antarctic spring since the early 1980s. This is not really a hole through the ozone layer, but rather a large area of the stratosphere with extremely low amount of ozone. Ozone depletion is not limited to the area over the South Pole. Research has shown that ozone depletion occurs over the latitude that include North America, Europe, ASEAN, and much of Africa, Australia, and also South America. Next, we go to the importance of ozone layer. Ozone layer help to protect life from harmful ultraviolet radiation. The planet is shielded by ozone against harmful ultraviolet UV rays from the sun. Life on Earth will be very difficult without the ozone layer in the atmosphere. In heavy ultraviolet radiation, plants cannot survive and grow, nor can the plankton that serve most of the ocean life as food. Humans will be more vulnerable to skin cancer, cataract, and weakness immune system with a loss of the ozone layer barrier. Next, we go to the cause of the ozone depletion. The first cause of ozone depletion is human activity that release pollutants into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide spread around the planet like a blanket and is one of the main gases responsible for the absorption of infrared radiation, filled as heat, which comprise the bulk of solar energy. Chlorofluorocarbon, CFC, halon, and other compounds deplete the ozone layer. These chemicals are found in cleaning agents, aerosol, insectiform, and refrigerants. CFC and halon break down into chlorine and bromine, which in turn destroy the ozone layer. There are many human activities that make ozone depletion happen. For example, open burning, especially in front of their house or at the forest. Sometimes they do this open burning without get any permission from government. The next one is the too much car and motorcycle on the road. It will cause primarily because putting too much carbon dioxide into the atmosphere when coal, oil, and natural gas are burned to generate electricity or to run our cars. It will make the atmosphere become bad and the air also polluted and make it easy to get ozone depletion. Ozone sits in the upper atmosphere and absorbs ultraviolet radiation. Another type of solar energy that harmful to humans, animals, and also plants. CFC and halon cause chemical reaction that break down ozone molecules, reducing ozone ultraviolet radiation and absorbing capacity. The way that government can do in order to solve the problem is can think the different way in order to make sure the total car or motorcycle on the road will decrease, like do the advertisement to encourage people to use only public transport. The next one is absence of public understanding of the risk of ozone layer depletion. This is because individuals are not afraid of the risk of ozone layer depletion. They will actively grow operations that can deplete the ozone layer. For example, is government can place any penalty on those who conduct open burning practice and do anything that can make this ozone depletion happen. So that people will more careful and our earth will clean from this bad environment. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi to Medawani and my fellow friends. My name is Muhammad Amir Haziq Berosli. My metric number is 2018 200 546. I from group 5 which Muhammad Amir Halimi bin Muhammad Arif and Muhammad Firdaus bin Mansur. Today I would like to discuss about the effect of ozone depletion. So what is the effect of the ozone depletion? First effect is on human health and environment. Depletion of the stratospheric ozone layer on the Earth's surface has contributed to increased solar UVB radiation between 218 to 315 nanometer. Impact on human exposure to UV radiation which detrimental and beneficial health effect. UV radiation has a harmful effect mainly on the eye and the skin. Skin cancer including melanoma and non-melanoma skin cancer, basal cell carcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma is the most common harmful outcome to the skin. Exposure to UV radiation follows the suppression of some form of immunity and the effect of this modulation are additional issues for the immune control of infectious disease, vaccine and tumor. Second is effect on animal. The rise in ultraviolet radiation resulting from major ozone losses is also potentially detrimental to animals. Any rise in disease in the most domestic species would not only have significant consequences for animal health, but may also be economically relevant. Squamous cell carcinomas of the exposed non-pigment areas of cats, goats, sheep, and horses are among the diseases that are likely to increase if ozone depletion continues. Uveitis syndrome in dogs is also associated with UVB exposure, and the new incidence of symptoms such as infectious keratoconjunctivitis in cattle can be expected to increase. The seasonal variation in both ozone and consequent levels of UVB suggests that it is the occurrence of certain infectious disease is likely to increase over the summer when ozone levels are up to 40% lower than in winter. Increases in skin cancer in the animal population are likely to be associated with overall exposure to asbestos, but youngest animals are also likely to be affected as the rate of accumulation of harmful UVB is rising. Last is effect on marine life. In phytoplankton, exposure to solar UVB radiation has been shown to affect both orientation and motility, leading to decreased survival rates for this species. Due to ozone depletion-related risks in UVB, scientists have demonstrated a direct reduction in phytoplankton production. UVB radiation has been shown to cause damage to fish, shrimp, crab, amphibians, and other marine animals at an early stage of growth. Decreased reproductive ability and impaired larval growth are the most serious consequences. Small increases in UVB exposure could lead to population decline for small marine organisms with repercussions for the entire food chain in the marine environment. As more than 30% of the world's animal protein for human consumption come from the sea, this is of particular importance. One plankton study predicts that a 25% decline in ozone will result in a 10% reduction in primary production in the ocean sunlight. biologically rich upper layer and a 35% decrease near the water surface. Because for most of the year, barely any direct sunlight enter the continent, most Antarctic species have a power tolerance for UV radiation. UVB radiation has been able to enter the atmosphere at a greater strength which decreases ozone in springtime. Already, an influence has been felt at the base of the Antarctic food chain. The plankton population have already been depleted by UV radiation by between 6 and 12%. So, what is the market up to that can solve this problem? My group has chosen the pollution permits trading system to solve this problem. Tradable emission licenses are so-called mechanism for cap and trade. They grant business a legal right to pollute a certain amount per set time period. Companies that pollute less will then sell their license for leftover emission to companies that pollute more. Pollution permits include granting business a legal right, such as 100 units of carbon dioxide per year. To pollute a certain amount, it can sell its emission license to other businesses if the company generates less pollution. However, if it creates more emission, other businesses or the government must purchase permit. This creates a market with a price determined by demand and supply for pollution permit. Pollution permits are designed to provide business with business incentives to minimize pollution and reduce the external costs associated with it. It is claimed, for example, that carbon dioxide emissions lead to global warming. Through selling companies this permit to allow emission, pollution permit may also be a way for the government to increase revenue. So how does the system work? There is an incentive to trade as long as polluters face different MAC level. Suppose a firm has 50 permit but normally emits 75 units of SO2. So the firma will abate 25 units of emission or buy 25 permit from another producer. The firm will choose whichever option is cheaper. The findings are that low-cost reducers are cleaning up waste and selling surplus license to other business. At NAP higher than their MAC, they will sell. Instead of abating, high-cost abatters can purchase permit. They can purchase lower than their MAC at every price. Trading will process until there is no reason to do so, at which stage the cost-effective solution is obtained. Until the MAC are reached, company through company are equivalent. Trading determines the expense of the right to pollute without the government having to search for a price. This is because there are no tax revenue made. The method of trading is versatile. By adjusting the number of permits issued, the emission standard may be changed. What is the example of the protocol permit trading system? The example protocol is Kyoto Protocol. The Climate Change Convention, which entered into force on March 21, 1994, identified the possibility of using carbon trading to regulate greenhouse gas emissions. Although the convention did not expressly allow the trading of emissions, it expressed a preference for cost-effective approach. The basic authorization for greenhouse gas emission trading came from the Kyoto Protocol to the convention. The key achievement of the December 1997 Conference of the Parties in Kyoto, Japan was the creation for 38 countries and the Europa Community of qualitative reduction in greenhouse gas. Reduction compared to 1990 emission levels are projected to be reached by 2012 and are expected to deliver a global reduction of 5.2% from 1990 levels, or 30% from levels expected by 2010. For every distinct kinds of emission trading are approved by the Kyoto Protocol. Article 17 authorizes the trading of allocated quantities between the nations of NAB and specially provides the greatest opportunity to benefit from the benefit of a trading scheme. Article C and 12 allow, on a case-by-case basis, the development by non-annex countries of emission reduction credit by annex one nation and certified emission reduction. Bubbles are allowed by Article 4, originally conceived as a way of enabling the Europa Community to satisfy its internal burden sharing between its member states on the Kyoto Commitment. The final wording of the article is usually framed. It enables the Annex 1 community of countries to fulfill their obligation under Article 3 jointly, so that their overall gross aggregate CSG emissions do not exceed the amount allocated to them. When the ratification is filled, a bubble must be declared. What is the international example? The international example is trading of greenhouse gas allowance are part of the Kyoto Protocol, an international accord aimed at global warming. Second international example is the Canada has a trading program for ozone depletion. And last but not least is the Denmark has one for carbon dioxide emission. What the other improving? What are the other improving? First, the international action has been effective in protecting the ozone layer. Countries around the world have decided to stop using ozone-depleting chemicals to halt the degradation of the ozone layer. The Vienna Convention for the Defense of the Ozone Layer in 1985 and the Montreal Protocol on Substances that Deplete the Ozone Layer in 1987 formalized the agreement. The Vienna Convention and the Montreal Protocol became the first treaties to reach full adoption in 2009 in the history of the United Nations. Control substances are referred to as substances covered by the protocol: chlorofluorocarbon, hydrochlorofluorocarbon, halogens, carbon tetrachloride, methyl chloroform, and methyl bromide are among the major substances. The ozone layer damage caused by any of these compounds is expressed as the potential for their ozone depletion. The second improving way is the preventing the loss of ozone from human activity itself. Avoid the consumption of gas dangerous to the ozone layer due to their content or manufacturing process. Some of the most dangerous gases are chlorofluorocarbon, halogenated hydrocarbon, methyl bromide, and nitrous oxide. Second is do not use cleaning products that are harmful to the environment and to us. Many cleaning products contain solvents and substances corrosive, but you can replace these dangerous substances with non-toxic products such as vinegar or bicarbonate. Last but not least is buy the local product. In this way, you not only get fresh product, but you avoid consuming food that has traveled long distance, as the more distant travel, the more nitrous oxide is produced due to the medium used to transport the product. Okay, I will pass it to the Muhammad Firdaus bin Mansur. Thanks.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fidos bin Mansur and I will present ways to maintain the sustainability of ozone layer. First is to avoid the consumption of gases dangerous to the ozone layer due to their content or manufacturing process. Some of the most dangerous gases are such as CFCs, that is chlorofluorocarbons, halogenated hydrocarbon, methyl bromide, and nitrous oxide. Second is to minimize the uses of cars. The best transport option is in urban is bicycle or walking. If you use a car to a destination, try to make a carpool with others to decrease the use of cars in order to pollute less and safe. With this method, we will reduce the releases of dangerous gases to the air. Third is do not use cleaning products that are harmful to the environment. Many cleaning products contain solvents and substances corrosive, but we can replace the dangerous substance with non-toxic products such as vinegar and bicarbonate. Next is buy local products. In this way, you not get only fresh products, but you avoid consuming food that has traveled long distance. As the more distance travel, the more nitrous oxide is produced due to medium used to transport that product. Last is to maintain air conditioners. Because of air conditioners cause to CFC to escape into the atmosphere. CFC can cause harmful and greenhouse effect. Next is the Sustainable Development Goals, that is SDGs. First is to end the poverty in all its form everywhere.
We support small, medium, and large-scale industrial enterprise and their technicians to successfully transition to new technologies that do not deplete the ozone layer. This allows many countries to meet the objective of the Montreal Protocol while ensuring business continuity, retaining and often creating jobs, maintaining competitiveness and increasing productivity and innovation of the related productive sectors. Second is to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Ozone layer depletion can reduce the productivity of agricultural lands and plankton in the oceans, the basis of the marine food chain. This has important implications for food security. Phasing out ODS that often are also powerful greenhouse gases, GHGs, can protect the productivity of agricultural lands and oceans. Furthermore, supporting the refrigeration sector, which is the key in extending the shelf life of food products and permitting their long-range transport, that promotes sustainable food production systems. The introduction of environmentally friendly alternative to methyl bromide and ODS and hazardous pesticide also contributes to food security. Next is and to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all ages. Ozone layer depletion allows more UV radiation to reach to the Earth's surface, a contributing factor to melanoma skin cancer. UV radiation is harmful to the human, for especially in human skin. Increases in UV radiation also cause other health concerns, including eye damage, suppression of the immune system, and premature of skin aging. The work in support of Montreal Protocol contributes to reducing the number of deaths and illness from thinning of ozone layer. It also supports the refrigeration sector, which allows for cold chain management for medicines and vaccine in its effort to transfer to low ODP or GWP technologies. To store medicines and vaccines, we need to store it in the medicine and vaccine need to store it in the cold surrounding. Phasing out CFCs for metered dose inhalers (MDIs) also ensures continued availability of COPD medication for asthma patients. Next is to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. As part of work to phase out ODS, energy efficiency in industry often increases as older technologies and processes are replaced by clean energy or higher energy efficiency process. This project is also supported by improving energy efficiency in buildings by promoting investment in new heating and cooling systems, household refrigerator replacement programs, or even installation of thermal insulation foams. These programs have a positive impact on the ozone layer and climate change, and also will reduce the cost for energy consumers, freeing up funds for other primary needs. Next is build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. The work to support the Montreal Protocol promotes sustainable industrialization by upgrading industry through the transfer of clean environmentally sound technologies that allow for the phase out of ODS and higher GHG fuels while increasing the resource use efficiency. Montreal Protocol related intervention allows small scale enterprises to, to connect to existing and new market, retain and improve their competitiveness, create or sustain jobs, and ensure business continuity. As such, the work contributes directly to a country's GDP's growth and industry share of employment. Next is to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. An important aspect of UNDP's work in support of Montreal Protocol is the introduction of safe energy efficient alternative to ODS contained in consumer products, such as refrigerators and air conditioning units. The use of such products is rapidly increasing because of a growing world population. Nowadays, equal to around 7 billions of people, and the growing middle class that can afford such products. To ensure that past achievements of the Montreal Protocol are not cancelled out by an increase in the use of products that contain low ODP by GWP chemicals. It is focused on introducing natural refrigerants, increasing recovery and recycling rates of both refrigerants and white appliances. Lastly is to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. The Montreal Protocol has been one of the most significant and successful efforts to combat climate change. The phase out to date of most of the S has not only led to the degeneration of the ozone layer, but also significant reduction in GHG's emissions, as most ODS and are also powerful GHGs. During the period of 1989 to 2013, the Montreal Protocol has reduced CO2 carbon dioxide equivalent emission as big as 11 other global policy actions combined. That includes energy efficiency, hydropower, nuclear power, forest preservation, fuel efficiency standard, and etc. at a fraction of the cost. As the conclusion, ozone layer the thinning of ozone layer will harmful to us as a human that live in this world. So we as human need to work together to reduce the risk of increasing the thinning of ozone layer, because nowadays we always use many technology that can cause the thinning of ozone layers, such as refrigerator, uh, air conditioners, and insect killer insecticide. So to reduce it, we need to reduce using all of the product that you that release CFC, chlorofluoro that is reduce CFCs, that is chlorofluorocarbon. That's all from me. Thank you.